Everyone laughed when a millionaire adopted a poor black girl, until they realized she was a genius the first time Ethan Grayson saw her. She wasn't crying. She wasn't begging. She was just sitting there, on a cracked curb outside the group home, like she owned the entire street. A tiny black girl, red sandals, faded blue shirt, arms folded like a queen without a throne. Everyone else walked right past her, but not Ethan, even in his absurd purple designer suit, gold-rimmed sunglasses, and that smug aura of self-importance. He stopped. "Where's your mom, sweetheart?" he asked gently. The girl glanced up, one eyebrow cocked. "I don't know. Where's yours?" That was the moment Ethan knew he was in trouble. Her name was Zuri. She was 4. No known parents. Quiet, but not shy. Fierce. Watchful. The staff at the foster home whispered that she gave them chills. That she rarely spoke, but when she did, it was like a lightning bolt of brilliance. Sometimes, she'd dismantled broken toys, and put them back together better. Ethan hadn't come to the group home out of kindness. He'd just won a massive lawsuit, and his PR team said adopting a child would soften his image. But now, all he could think about was her. Not the babies. Not the sweet toddlers. Just the girl with serious eyes who looked straight through him, like he was a lie. The paperwork was rushed. His lawyers advised against it. Social media mocked him. Millionaire adopts black child for sympathy points. Watch, he'll return her within a week. But he brought her home anyway, to a mansion of marble floors and gold faucets. She didn't flinch, didn't speak. She simply walked into the foyer, sat on the staircase, and asked, "Where's the quietest room?" That first night, she drew blueprints in crayon. Perfect 2-scale drawings of the mansion. Ethan stared at the floor plan in shock. "Did someone show you this?" Zuri rolled her eyes. "I counted the steps. By day 5, she hacked his smart fridge, made it speak full sentences. By day 7, she reprogrammed the mansion gate. Only her voice could open it." Ethan tried to laugh it off. "She probably saw me do it," he told his assistant. But deep down, something was shifting, not just in her, in him. He started canceling meetings to help her with puzzles. He turned off his phone during breakfast, just to hear her talk about how clouds were sad marshmallows, or how electricity must feel lonely. One evening, he heard buzzing in the garage. He walked in and found her surrounded by wires and parts from his old espresso machine. "What are you doing?" She didn't even look up. "Building a friend." She had made a robot. It blinked, responded, reacted to sound and light. "Where'd you learn this?" "I watched. I remembered. I thought." Ethan sat down, speechless. "You're 4. Almost 5, and for the first time, she smiled. But the world didn't smile with her. At school, kids laughed when she solved math faster than the teacher. Some teachers accused her of cheating. The principal pulled Ethan aside. "She's unnerving," she whispered. "It's not normal for a child to process like this. Are you sure she belongs here?" Ethan's jaw clenched. She belongs wherever she wants to be. But things got worse. One afternoon, Ethan came home to find her sitting on the mansion steps, arms crossed. "They told me to go back where I came from." "Who did?" he asked, heart sinking. "Everyone." He knelt down, devastated. He'd tried to protect her with money, but he'd underestimated how cruel the world could be. Zuri didn't cry. She just looked him dead in the eye. "Don't you get it yet?" she said softly. "I'm not your doll. I'm not your project. I'm not here to make you look good." "I know," Ethan said, his voice cracking. "I just didn't know how much I'd care." She stared at him. "Then stop trying to impress the world, and start seeing me." That moment on those marble steps, under a red sunset, changed everything. They had all laughed when he adopted her. He had no idea who he had just brought home. The months that followed were anything but easy. Ethan tried to give her everything, but Zuri didn't want things handed to her. She wanted to build her own world. He gifted her a luxury playroom filled with dolls. She used them to build circuit testers. He hired a top-tier math tutor. She ended up teaching him about quantum logic. He brought in a child psychologist. The doctor left in tears. "She's beyond gifted," she said, voice trembling. But more than that, she's guarded. Like someone who's had to earn everything. Even love. Zuri stayed a mystery. She'd sit under the giant sycamore tree for hours, sketching what looked like satellites. She rarely smiled, but she always observed. One morning, Ethan found her dismantling the microwave. Zuri, he snapped. What are you doing now? Fixing the thing that makes your coffee explode. He muttered something about chaos and walked away, then stopped halfway down the hall and laughed. She had noticed something he hadn't. She wasn't just fixing appliances. She was fixing him. The National Robotics Competition. Her idea. She hacked into Ethan's laptop, registered under a fake name, ZG404, and submitted blueprints. Ethan only found out when a journalist called. Sir, are you aware your daughter is a finalist in a national AI competition? My what? At the event, kids were surrounded by proud parents, CEOs, engineers, scientists. Zuri was the smallest, the only black girl, wearing red sandals, a hand-drawn schematic taped to her chest. The judges laughed until her robot spoke. Not it responded, it learned, it evolved, built entirely from junk and genius. By the end, the auditorium was silent. Then, a standing ovation. Reporters swarmed Ethan. Where'd you find her? How did you train her? Is this adoption even real? Ethan stepped to the mic, kneeled beside her, placed a hand on her shoulder. I didn't find her, he said. She found me. She's not my project. She's not a miracle. She's Zuri Grayson. And I'll spend the rest of my life making sure the world sees her as she truly is. That night, they sat on the mansion steps again. Same steps. Different story. Proud of yourself? Ethan asked. She shrugged. I used to think I had to prove something to everyone. That if I wasn't smart enough, they'd throw me away again. He turned to her. But now, she smiled softly. Now I know. I was never the problem. They were just too small to see me. Ethan blinked back tears. I saw you, he whispered. I just didn't understand what I was looking at. And for the first time in weeks, she smiled. Truly smiled. They laughed at him when he adopted her, called it a joke. A publicity stunt. A mistake. But no one was laughing now, because Zuri wasn't just a little girl anymore. She was a revolution. In red sandals, if this story moved you, hit the like button, subscribe, and tell us where in the world you're watching from. We love hearing from you. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and keep watching.